Hi, good morning, all of you. So, good morning, Dr. Raj. Today we are here with another video, and I hope and I know and I feel that this would be one of the most informative videos thus far, considering this is regarding a resume, which is Canadian standard, according to the Canadian standard. So another important thing today is that I would like to clarify to all our viewers is that whatever that we have in our MCCQ prep group, most of it is from our personal experiences and from the info that we take from MCC website. The best source of information is mcc.ca. That is the website you should only refer to for all the information that you need. Considering considering you find it difficult to go through all the content and you need some quick reference, that is what you can refer to us, because we usually take all the info from either mcc.ca or all the people who give us their feedback. So that is what our info comes from. Nothing, we are not professionals. We do this just on the side. Whenever we are free, we're trying to help others through giving them all the info that we know through these videos. So please do your own research prior to making any serious decisions or commitments. And you can always ask us any question that you have. So thank you, Dr. Raj, giving us some time for another video. And today's video is again regarding a resume formation according to the Canadian standards. Since you're already in a professional life in Canada, it would be a great help for all of our viewers to benefit from your experience. Thank you. Please begin.
Hi, thank you. Good morning. All right, so today we're focusing on a resume. I'm gonna start with telling you what's the difference. Has a difficulty understanding. Most of us think it's the same thing, but it is not the same thing. So I would say resume is something more kind of like a summary. So it's like more a concise picture of an illustrated like individual skills and qualification. And usually we use a resume to apply for jobs. And the other thing is that resume has a length of 2 to 3 pages. On the other hand, the CV is more detailed. It's like a full history of credentials and other stuff, right? And
All right.
CV we usually use for residency.
Okay.
So residency, research positions, or more of the academic basis. And CV is longer, like 4 to 5 pages.
So if I
So
may
that
ask you again, CV is when we apply for a residency and resume is when we are applying for casual jobs. Is that so?
pretty much.
Okay.
So CV, if you're trying to apply to Canadian medical colleges and residency and stuff like that, you will definitely need a CV. But resume is needed for anything else, to apply for jobs and stuff like that. So, all right. What I usually do is I have a big full CV, and whenever I'm applying to a job, I just take parts out of that job or CV that doesn't match with my job requirements, resume. All right, and all these CVs are written in a reverse chronological order, or it
Okay.
depends on the functional, the type of job you're applying to.
So a reverse chronology in layman's term, you mean our latest experience would be the first one, or our oldest experience would be the first experience on the resume?
The latest one will be the first.
Okay.
But then again, if you're organizing it in a functional way, you can pretty much write however you want it.
Okay.
I can show you, like I will talk. All right. Okay, so this is just an example that I got it from Wikipedia.
Okay.
So just to show you like how we start with the demographic at the top, and then we start with the objective, education, work experience. So this is just a sample layout. Resume is pretty much, you can arrange it however you like it.
Okay, but I
However
see
you want to
you are finishing it.
present
Is this the
yourself.
whole thing, or it has a second page as well?
This one had only one page. This is just like a sample way. I'm just showing to
Okay,
you. It's just a sample. Like it has, like I wouldn't have arranged my resume like this, honestly. It's just a
okay,
sample.
okay,
So it just to show like this is what the resume looks like, right?
okay.
Okay. So
But
yeah.
do you mean
So
that is
at
an example
first,
of a poorly written resume? Would you say this is an example of a poorly written resume, because you said you wouldn't make your resume like this?
I wouldn't say I wouldn't say it's a poorly written, but at the same time, I would say like it's not a well organized.
Okay,
So
okay, makes sense.
if you
Okay,
look at there's a gap between education and workplace. It's not enough to see that we're one expected we can. Like go to Remedy, I would see so many different types and so many nice views. Like you have no idea how many types of
okay, okay,
geographic information, which usually means name. So which usually means name, address, phone number, email. That's the things are required. If it's, I don't know, I have some companies have it, don't. In Canada, it's not a required.
okay.
And never, you should never put on your resume your age or your gender or whether you're married or not, any other personal information other than your name.
Oh, wow, okay.
So resume does not have that. Even CV does not have that either. Okay.
Right.
Okay. So usually people begin a resume by the objective, and most of the time it's optional, depending upon like what job you're applying. Canadians don't write it objectives, they just start with the education or some other section. Objective usually means why are you applying for this particular job? So
Okay,
it should
right.
be like job oriented. Okay. Next section is qualification and achievement. This is the way I have organized my resume. So
Okay,
like
right.
doesn't follow this way. This is the one. This way I have completed my resume. So I have started with the qualification and achievement, which is just a summary of your qualification and achievement. It can also be written as a skill summary. Some people write a skill summary and highlights. And the examples here, you should include like what language are you fluent in? Are you proficient in Microsoft Office? What kind of experience you have? So anything that makes you separate whatever your achievements and your qualification is, you can write in this section. Usually this section is 4 to 5 points, but again, it's up to you. Okay. So next section is education. So education, on my resume, I have divided education into another 4 different sections. So I have for education that's more specific, like where I put my degree there. So and then I have done the relative training, like a short courses. So I have done quite few short courses like literacy of science, epidemiological studies. That what goes under the relevant training. And then I have a certificates like BLS. I have certificate in FOIP, that's a certificate for confidentiality, research certificate. So that goes under the certificate section. And then we have a CME. So that's a continuing medical education. And I'm pretty sure every one of us has attended some conferences, and we can always put those ones under this section, this conferences and stuff like that. So this is what the education section looks like. So you don't have to write this under, like I have written under 4 different headings. So it varies how do you want to organize it. So sometimes I put a relevant training and certificates together in one section, depending upon the job I'm applying. So sometimes if I feel like, oh, my short courses are more important for the job, then this way they come at the top instead of following a chronological order, they will go at the bottom. So just to show how, like, this is how you arrange it. Next section is experience. So experience can also be divided. It can be divided into professional, relevant, other experience, volunteer experience, and leadership experience. However, one person wants to do it. For example, if I put a, let's see, if I want to put in my professional experience, I would say I would put observerships at the top and then my current job at the bottom, saying that is irrelevant, that one's professional, dividing in 2 different sections. But if I want to just put them in one section, then sometimes I feel like my observership skills are going at the bottom of the resume. And you know, when other people are reading our resumes, they probably just do it 1 or 2 minutes. So you want to make your point across, right? You want to tell them this is what you know. So that's why, like, to bring that at the top, I would put my professional experience and I will divide sections according to that. For example, another example could be like I could put a volunteer experience because I volunteer with the Canadian Red Cross. So I could put that as a volunteer experience, but at the same time, I can also put that as a leadership experience because I'm a supervisor there. And I run a team, right? So it just
Interesting.
depends how you present yourself.
Yeah. Very valid point. Yeah.
So yeah, pretty much like that. So it pretty much depends how do you want to organize it. And then next section is usually this is the second last section of the resume is interest. Again, you can put anything you want. Examples could be music, long walks, cooking, however, like whatever, 4 to 5 points. Don't put 10 points there because people
Okay.
who are reading our resumes, they know we are cannot be interested in everything, right?
Okay. Yeah.
So I wouldn't put everything there. I would just put 4 or 5 points maximum. There's no way everyone can be like, I'm pretty sure, like, I'm not interested in sports, but someone else can be interested in sports, right? At the same time, I need to consider, like, if I put sport there and during my interview they ask me, most you like, and I don't watch sports, I don't know anything about sports, then that's not a good.
Okay. Yeah. So you
Right?
should stick by it what
So
you
you
write.
should
You
be,
should, yeah.
yeah, be prepared ahead. Like anything you put on your resume is a fair game when they're asking what they ask you on your interviews. Doesn't really matter. So yeah, you should always be prepared in anything like that. And then last section is usually the reference. We don't write references there. We just write simply references are available upon request. So we don't need to write your reference there. Just write this line only that references are
Okay.
available upon request. Okay.
Interesting. Yeah.
Yeah. So that then you can submit your reference on a separate piece of paper. So this is pretty much everything in what resume should have.
All right. So, Dr. Raj, would it be possible for you to show us maybe any brief picture or of the resume that you have written or you have helped somebody write who approached you for a resume writing, and then you could have written as anonymous, that we can at least see if that is how it looks like, because according to what you have taught us or told us, it makes perfect sense. But to make it into a, literal representation, that would make a lot of sense as well. Would that be possible?
Yeah, for sure. Just give me 1 second. I'm going to
Sure,
actually,
no
sorry.
problem, no problem. Just for our viewers, because sometimes people, they can get confused or they might not understand what we are saying. So if we can just show them a picture of one resume that is like a perfect according to Canadian standards, that is that would be really good for all of us.
I'm not sure about like Canadian standards, but like I do.
As we said, that is according to our experience at which people have managed to secure jobs.
Yeah, no, what you're saying, I'm just saying.
Because because the reason why we chose this topic is because a lot of people, they underestimate or undermine the value of a good written or well written resume or CV, because people who you applying for job to, they do not know us or they do not know the person who is applying. So this is a literal representation of us. So we have to put in a lot of effort, to make it worthwhile for a person who's reading. That's why it's really important.
Yeah, just like they're reading, they're hiring people, they're reading like 10 resumes at a time, right? So you gotta make sure that you stand out. So it's easy to follow, easy to understand.
So would you say that if a person, no matter how qualified he or she is, how much good credentials the person have, if the resume is poorly written, the chances are the person might not secure the job, even if the person fulfills the criteria? Would you what is your comment on that?
I would say that's a yes to that, because the other person who's hiring, they don't know you, they don't know how qualified you are. It's what your resume is telling them. So
Right.
that's your like resume is your first contact with an employer, right?
Yeah, absolutely, that is what.
So make sure that's your first impression, make sure that it's the right one.
Exactly.
So like I would say everyone knows the importance of first impression, so you gotta make sure that
Yeah.
it gets crossed. Like I don't know if you know, do you know what elevator pitch? What is that? It's your
Sorry.
something called elevator pitch.
Oh,
So
elevator pitch. No, I'm not familiar. I'm not familiar
resume
with
is
it.
kind of like that.
Oh, okay. I'm not familiar with this.
Elevator is pitch is it's a type of saying your first impression. It's actually expression.
Yeah.
So it goes like this. It says like you are trapped in an elevator with someone who's, let's say, dean of college you are applying.
Right.
So you are traveling from 1 to 5th floor. So that means you got at like 10 seconds.
Oh, okay.
So how would you contact or make your first impression in those 10 seconds front of that dean? And you really want to get into that college, right?
Wow, that seems extremely stressful.
Yeah, but it's called an that like that point is called an elevator pitch. So like how would you present yourself? How would you talk to that person? How would you approach that person? So everything, it's kind of like that. So you have only 10 seconds to do it. So that's pretty much what kind of resume is doing too.
Right. Pretty much, yes.
So yeah, that's common, like that's common thing in Canada. You will hear a lot of people saying elevator pitch when you go to professionals who make resumes and stuff like that, or who prepare you in for the interviews. They will mention elevator pitch.
Dr. Raj, we are running out of time for this video.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Would you be showing us the example?
Yep, I'm here.
Okay.
Can you see my screen?
Yeah, it is sharing.
This is my personal resume. I'm
Perfect.
still working on it. It has a
That
lot
would
of
be great. That would be great. Perfect.
it has a lot of mistakes in it, so I'm still working on it. It has a
No,
lot of mistakes in it, but
as long as it has the format, that would be perfect. That would be perfect for us, all of us.
so this one is I'm making this one to apply for a research position jobs.
Okay.
So see, I have a demographic at the top. Then I have my qualification and achievements.
Excellent.
With a lot of mistakes.
No worries. No worries about the mistakes. We just want to know how the format looks like. That's it. So please, yeah.
So education, you can see that my MBBS is at the top. It's a chronological order. My bachelor is at the bottom. So if you see, then I have a relative experience. Just see how dates go, right? Everything is in order. So, and then I have other certificates here. I'm gonna write my publications, presentation that I have worked on. And then I'm writing a work experience.
Wow, Dr. Raj, this is one comprehensive. This is one comprehensive resume, I must say.
Yeah, I'm still working on it, so it's not a properly organized or anything, but this is what it should be like. This then I have a volunteer experience. So you can see that I have a emergency response. I have everything in a chrono, and then at the last I have my medical internship. So this is the one I use for research and other type of positions. I have another one here that I used for a resume. Can you see a different resume now?
No, I'm still at the same one, the one where you said internship.
Yeah, no, I'll show you the other one. So can you see this one right now? It says a residency candidate.
Yeah. Okay.
So this one I prepared for a CARMs, still working on it. But you gotta see, this is organized completely differently.
Yes.
For one, this time I put my internship training at the top. Lastly, it was at the bottom, at the end of the resume. This time it's beginning of the resume because that's what a residency is. So I know I want to tell them I know what I'm. Okay, and then I have on the other side I have my highlights.
Great.
And then I have languages.
Okay, please,
education.
as we go down, what other aspects of, okay, language, education, CMEs, right? CMEs, scholarly activities and achievement, very good. That would be the, okay. Professional developmental.
Yeah,
so this part is for CARMs.
Here I have organized that. This is
excellent. This is the most important resume.
This one is more.
Okay.
Yeah. So then I have a professional development and certificates. So why I put a professional development and certificate? Because things like study groups don't offer you certificate, right? That's just a professional development. Same with this section, communication in healthcare. That's a seminar. You don't have a certificate for that, but it's still something that develop that give you an.
Right.
Same with here, medical ethics. It's a workshop. I don't have a certificate for that, but I did attend it. Okay. And see, this is all of my CMI old ones. That's it. I have a lot of CME. That's why I organized into two groups. One before 2021. Okay. One is in 2021.
And
so this is what.
And how do at the end, how do you write the resources? Oh no, sorry, references page. How do you fit in the references here at the last page?
I didn't put like here. I just got absorption. Then I put additional health related work experience. Then I put another research activities. Then I put publications on your CV. You don't need to put references available on request because
Okay.
with the CARMs application, you are already sending references at the same time.
Ah, right. Right. Perfect. Okay.
So so they already received your references. That means you don't need to tell them that it's available upon request, right?
Mm.
Because they already received it.
So this is where the resume ends at publications and volunteering experience. That means volunteering is extremely important in Canada.
It is quite important in Canada. And also it depends on what kind of volunteer experience you have. So again, I'm still working on these resumes. They are not see like at the end each page you should also write your name, last name, and number of pages just in case they printed and it got lost. So they should be able to make sense, right? Instead of
Yeah.
them using a lot of energy and time trying to figure out, make life easier for that person. So you can see I always have page number and stuff like that. So though they know what they're looking for here. If you can see that. My
Well, I think this
last
is
name
perfect.
along with the
I'm pretty sure, Dr. Raj, that nobody anywhere on all the online blogs or vlogs, nobody has ever shared their CARMs resume until this far. So I think this would be an excellent moment of enlightenment for all of our viewers that how to write a resume for your CARMs application. I'm pretty sure a lot of people spend a lot of resources on this, so it would be great if people can I mean definitely people can approach us for this resume formation as well, and I'm sure you would give them a lot of concession and a lot of discounts and a lot of uh, innovative ideas when they approach you for your resume formation. Would that work?
yeah, just one at I'm not a professional. I'm just someone who is writing all this from my experience, what I have learned from others,
And
advices
I
people
believe
have given to
I
me.
believe experience is the best way of learning anything. As long as we are practically in the market, we ourselves are doctors, we ourselves are working, and I guess what works for us, hopefully, and I'm pretty sure it would work for others, not necessarily, but in most cases. So as long as we tell them upfront, all the people who approach us, the MCCQE group, that who we are, how we do things, what we are, I think that should work.
Yeah, sounds good for sure, definitely.
Okay, Dr. Raj, we are really late. This video has really prolonged. Thank you so much for this valuable information. And we will see each other again until the next video. Thank you so much.
Thank you.